So a pretty funny thing happened the other day. I'm not going to lie, I was a little bit surprised by this. Donald Trump Jr. responded to yours truly on Twitter. It's funny because in my own mind, I'm still out here, you know, doing the YouTube show and just like fucking around with you guys. And when I'm on Twitter, talking like I'm sitting in a room and fucking around with all you guys. And at a certain point, I don't know when it was, people started paying attention to me. And I'm somewhat uncomfortable with that because I always just say whatever I want. And then now it's like, when you know certain eyeballs are on you, you feel like a little bit self-conscious. And like part of your mind is like, can I say that? But then, of course, since, you know, I'm me, the other part of my mind is like, who gives a fuck? Say it anyway. And sometimes that gets me in trouble. But like, you know, what happened the other week, it was the RNC used a tweet of mine in an email they sent out. And I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, this is not what I want to happen. Well, now Donald Trump Jr. responded to me. I'll show you it. This is hilarious. So I tweeted Trump Jr. backstage, hashtag RNC 2020. And you see cute little Kermit the Frog sniffing lines. And he said, you must have me confused with Hunter Biden. There's a lot to say about this. So, first of all, no, I don't. I was talking about you. You look like you were zooted, dog. Look at your eyes, son. Who you kidding? Who you kidding, dog? Who you kidding? You know you were high as balls. It's so obvious. But anyway, so no, I wasn't referring to Hunter Biden. But, yeah, Hunter Biden probably is doing a bunch of cocaine, too, in general. So, I don't know if you know this, Don, but more than one person on the planet can do cocaine at the same time. And I think you and Hunter are probably two of the people doing it. So, you know, I don't know. I thought this exchange was fun. You know, it didn't seem to... I don't think I was overly harsh. I thought it was more of a funny tweet. And I don't think... Did he take offense to it? Maybe he did take a little bit of offense to it, but... I mean, listen. In his defense, the least bad thing about his speech was the fact that he seemed like he was high as balls on cocaine. If I was giving a speech at one of these major conventions, I'd do a few lines backstage. Why the hell not? Why wouldn't you? It'll focus you. It'll make you more dynamic and entertaining. But by the way, we'll get in a little bit to his girlfriend's speech, Kimberly Guilfoyle, and maybe she had a couple lines too many. Maybe just a few lines too many. So it's funny that, you know, it almost seems like he thinks that I would, I don't know, like defend Hunter or something. And it's like, of course I wouldn't. He's like a fail son who was born with a silver spoon in his mouth as well. Just like you. Like all these guys got everything handed to them. That's obvious. Like Hunter with everything that the Republicans say about Hunter is pretty much true. Like when they say, oh my God, he sat on a Ukrainian energy company board and got paid hundreds of thousands of dollars a month or whatever it was. I don't know if it was that much, but he got paid a lot for sitting on a Ukrainian energy company board. And it's like, yeah, he didn't know anything about energy. He didn't know anything about Ukraine. He got that position because it's corruption and because Joe Biden's his daddy. Of course. Like, yes, everything they say about him is accurate. But on the flip side, everything Democrats say about Don Jr. is accurate. Sorry, dude. I mean, listen. You are where you are because of daddy. And daddy is where he is because of his daddy. You know, when you're passed down hundreds of millions of dollars, I mean, that guarantees success because even if you do nothing, you're going to be okay. And so, and Don Jr., I think Eric is honestly the smarter one. No offense to Don Jr., even though obviously he would take offense. But I think Eric's the smarter one than him. And like, Trump handed off the businesses to them as he's being president. And I mean, what does he do all day? Like, dude, who are you kidding? You do what I do. Like, you shit post on Twitter all day. Only thing is, you don't have a YouTube show. If you have a YouTube show, then you'll catch up to me and be doing what I'm doing, but just from a right-wing perspective. But you're not even on my level yet, son. Like, you just shit post all day on Twitter. That's it. So, anyway, listen, I'll say it again. By all means, snort away backstage. But I don't know who you're kidding. Look at your eyes. I mean, obviously you were on something. If I'm being kind, okay, he had a bunch of drinks backstage. That's me being kind. That's a lot less exciting than if you were doing lines. I would have more respect for Don Jr. if he was doing lines backstage before the RNC speech. I would have more respect for Kimberly Guilfoyle if they were doing lines backstage. I would join them. I would join them. I don't like them, but I would join them either way.